Salutations, everybody. It's a good thing to be back and to see how the crack is going on this fine Thursday evening. The crack has entered the building and the addicts have arrived with momentum. Hulkamania may be dead, but Crackamania stands whilst the addicts are ready to raise the roof off the building. That might be a bit too morbid. But, with all that being said, what's a crack-a-lackin', everybody? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy? My dopey ass decided to stay up last night and watch the United game. Now, I did end up doing one individual. Enter ended up giving me a message at 1 in the morning, told me did I want to watch with him, and the two of us ended up going onto Discord and watching it. I might need to get off of you again, that Discord link, Skull. That bloody account keeps kicking me out, and I don't have Sky Sports and can't be arsed paying for Sky Sports, so, yeah. Benecoggin, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? How are you doing? Are you satisfied with the 2-1 victory over Everton, where Everton looked shite, and you looked even worse? Or, yeah. How did you end up finding that? I think if the Weza deal ends up going through, our dear friends Brentford are 100% getting relegated. The poor fuckers. Genuinely, I think if that Weza deal goes through, they're going down. I don't think there's anything that saves them if that Weza deal goes through. I'm actually hoping, for Brentford's sake, that Weza deal doesn't go through and that Newcastle go for something else. I also don't really think it's a good deal for Newcastle, which is the other thing about it as well. So, you know, tips and balances. Let's go back to the top of this and see what people were saying. You've returned to Crackerland. I know everyone has ended up coming in here. Some of these I'm going to need to make into a shirt, or at least a logo. Because, you know, you've done a couple of interesting things for us, Benny, but, like, your consistent approval, your consistent following of one MLS has caused problems for Arsenal there today in their 1-0 loss against Tottenham. You know, I watched that game. I didn't think Arsenal were particularly good, but I will say your support of MLS has caused one particular player not to play as good as I expected him to, you know? But, you know, tips and balances, hopefully it'll end up being better. But, you know, the MLS is something to support. It's something that's growing. It's something that will be top 5 in the world. It's currently not. I don't think it's even top 10, but it's getting there, Benny. It's getting there. I know you believe in it more than most. I know that it's your favorite thing in the world to support the MLS, and I don't blame you for that. But today, you know, Patrick Dogu ended up putting a better display than the MLS, and, you know, we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, we'll see with that too. Officially, the transfer request hasn't been put through. There's just been talks that he's been demanding that he won't go back to training the same way with Isak. Problem with transfer requests is when you put transfer requests in, nothing anyone can do. You're screwed. But we'll see what ends up happening. Skull will end up having a hissy fit about me, but I'm feeling it. I'm starting to feel the motion in the lotion, the movement in the groins. I'm starting to feel a bit of vigor. I think Mason Mount is starting to become the Mason Mount I think he can be. He played very good yesterday. Again, pre-season copium and the whole up, but I'm starting to see it. There's light sparkling from it, and if we can end up having our entire front half basically be all the same players, it's an interesting kettle of fish. But that seems to be the route we're going down. 21. You've hit 21 check-ins, Senior Duck. You're finally able to vote. Yeah, it's a dream. I am alive. UK laws are horse manure. This way, next time Angela Raynor comes to my door, I might have to go at her. I have no idea who that is, and nor do I give a crap. Thankfully, those laws haven't come over to Ireland yet, where we're slow on everything that everyone ends up doing. But hey, you can no longer have pornography, so fair play to you. We're going to have some more cranky bastards in the UK. I'm fizzing just hearing out. The fact I'm not talking about it, I don't want to drag Crack's stream down. I mean, my stream is shite to begin with, so it can only go up. So, is this Champions League final? No, we're a couple of weeks off the Champions League final, so probably 5 streams. It's a website now. Do send me on the website. Give me a message on Discord. I didn't watch a minute of it because it's preseason and it doesn't matter. Didn't even know the score. I mean, in this particular... Normally, I would agree with you, Benny. But I think all of the Premier League sides have done something very, very smart with the preseason this year. Because even though it is preseason and it doesn't particularly matter what's going on, the fact that you're facing Premier League teams does benefit you in the long run, because it does give you an indication of where you are. Yes, everyone will get fitter in the next 2 weeks. Everyone will be sharper. You haven't finished getting your players in. But I think going up against the actual players you go in will give you a psychological advantage as you go in. Now, that could be copium on my end, and I'll happily admit that it is. But I think genuinely for all of the teams, Tottenham getting that win over Arsenal might give Arsenal a bit of a downtrodden feel for when we face them. It might give Tottenham the bump that they end up doing. Although, to me, both teams looked a bit suspect in that game. It also leads to an awful lot of horse manure, too. Thomas Frank turning around stating that we're miles... Or not Thomas Frank. Areola turning around saying we're miles above Bournemouth. Is horseshit. And I think even he knows it's horseshit. But at the same point in time, we did play them off the park. But we'll see. People report the Discords to keep having to make new ones. That makes sense. They are using the guise of it to protect children. Yeah, I just... There's a whole lot about that I don't particularly like. Anyways, FFS. What does that acronym end up meaning, Benny? For Lucius Fish skates. How are your for Lucius Fish skates, Benny? Anyway. But what happens to parents these days? The government should not be parenting their kids. I mean... Yeah, big government... We have an American in the chat, so it'll be interesting to hear what he ends up saying. Big government is a big problem, but at the same point in time, like, rules are made there for the people that break them, not for the people that do them, and we have an incredible amount of bad parents, so until the parents end up copping on, I think you do need to do something about it. I'm hoping that goal from Højlund helps him. Well, he was sharp for most of the game. I thought he'd done an incredible amount of passes, a good interceptive play. He was pressing particularly well. I think Højlund looks good. I mean, I didn't, Skull, see that McGregor could go on for president. I don't know how. He's not going to get the 5 county council positions that he needs. He's not going to get the 10 to 15 votes from the Senate. He's not going to get any of the big parties to end up promoting him. I don't see how he could end up being president. I think he's locked out. She assessed the whole thing, said she'd link there. Guess what? Yeah, you haven't told me what yet. Already. Yeah, so what's the news there? Skull, because I wouldn't have a clue. She came to my door the other year. I just missed her, thank the Lord. My girlfriend on New News. I also love how 10 goals in Korea's team versus Barcelona and Lingard and Rashford didn't score. I mean, yeah. But, like, each its own. Like, that Barcelona game was a joke anyways. Again, as Benny was saying, it's all pre-season, so we can't put anything on anything. I'm just being ever the optimist, you know yourself. 21 prems for United if draw to Everton. Rewrite that and try and describe it for me again. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, Skull. My apologies. That means diddly squat to me. Anyways, last time when we ended up coming into this, we managed to claw back from the jaws of defeat a victory over the team that I formerly had, the team that I haven't beaten this year or in any of the preceding years, to my understanding. We bet Liverpool, and now we have Arsenal set for the semi-final of the Champions League. In between Arsenal, we have Atletico Madrid. Before Arsenal, we have Barcelona, an unfortunate state of affairs to end up happening. But we'll see what ends up happening as we continue on. We have a couple of games now beforehand, Seville being the next one now, Sevilla. And they're not the best team in the league, so we should be fairly fine going into them. But we'll see what ends up happening here. You sad, desperate, poor, desperate. You used desperate twice. Your comment is null and void. You almost should be demodded for that, Duck. Go and buy a thesaurus, for Christ's sake. Come on, you need to be better with your words there. You sad excuse for a fecal exchange. You desperate, poor, infidelic bastard. Could have been a better word. You know, be creative. Like, I don't mind insults coming into our chat, but at least make them creative. There's nothing better than a destitute fool chanting horse manure in the chat and not being creative about it. Come on, Duck, I expect better from you. With the preseason league called the Premier League Series and all, we have 21 points. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, no, that's horse manure. It's almost like he's trying to bait me, Skull is, but I thought I'd learn by now. No, you never learn. Anyways, we have a team set up here now. Ronald seems to have gotten himself in fairly good nick, so we'll try Ronald on here as well with Sechi Seller. We'll replace Warren Emery and put him on with Ugarte. Bellingham on with him. Justin Franco, Ard, Coria, and Marco up front. And we put Aaron on as well. So we're going to start this game now, and we'll see how things end up going, getting our first game into us. We need to be tight, too, because Barcelona are on our coattails. They're coming close to us. We have a win and a draw on them, to be fair. But you still don't want to let anything happen. We have a game in hand on them and a win and a draw on them. We still want to propel ourselves a wee bit further ahead of them, especially considering we still have to face them. We don't want to be losing points anywhere else. 5 days until the rename. I haven't seen it. So, allow me to ask you, what rename are you going for this time, Senior Duck? Maybe you could end up taking my advice and just call yourself Senior Duck. Ipu. Duck, is this, okay, we all seen how bad your striker was today. Wait, are you on about Gawker? Which striker are you on about? Because you tend to turn around and say that he's a Tottenham supporter. So are you on about Richarlison? Are you on about Solanke? Are you on about Tell? Which one are you on about? I haven't seen it, to be honest. I might stop caring about football IRL these. Oh, why? That's not fair. Victor is so bad. Happy we didn't try signing that useless Swansea reject. Okay, well, that is just bait. He isn't bad, but we'll see what ends up happening. He also didn't play that long into the game. Like, the stats don't end up giving that much of a chance. I think he only got something, like, in this game, 30 minutes. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. I think he's going to be a fairly good signing for him. I do think they're not going to get anything this season, though, unfortunately. But we'll see. Yeah, but that's an indictment. To be fair, I know you're trying to say that as a strike to him, Duck, that he didn't get a chance at Brighton. But that's an indictment in him as well. He didn't get a chance at Brighton because he wasn't good enough to be given a chance. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that. He then went down the pyramid, improved, came back up, and became an elite striker who gives a rat's ass if it took him 5 to 7 years to become a striker. Not everyone is a 17-year-old mastodon. Not everyone is a Donnarumma that is 10 years as arguably one of the best in the world, you know? It takes time to build up. I would argue, and I might be wrong on this, correct me if I am, I would argue that Harry Kane didn't become prolific until he was around 27. And correct me if I'm wrong on that. I would argue that he wasn't prolific. He wasn't recognized as a top striker until he was around 27. Which is the age that Gyökeres is coming to now. You know? So we'll see what ends up happening, you know? And everything changes with a different environment. If the team ends up being built around him, we'll see too. My big problem with Gyökeres when it comes down to Gyökeres being at Arsenal is Arsenal is built, and anyone that says this is lying, Arsenal is built around Martin Odegaard. And Martin Odegaard in the last year hasn't been performing good enough, and that's one of the reasons why Arsenal were a bit off last season, in my opinion. Since last season, they've morphed it a bit to be built more around Declan Rice. Now you're going to rebuild the team again to move the central figurehead, hopefully, to Gyökeres. Problem is, will that drop down Declan Rice's play and Odegaard's play? Because if Odegaard doesn't play this season, I think they'll have a problem in their midfield. Even though they have a very strong midfield, I actually think their midfield might be their weakness this year. And might be the excuse for Gyökeres not playing. Again, we haven't seen them play properly, so we'll see. That's one of the reasons why they got Madueke, or Nani, or Nani, or however the hell you want to pronounce him. But we'll see what ends up happening. I just think Arsenal have a nasty habit of purchasing for areas they don't particularly need. I still think they needed a defender. I still think they need another partner for Declan Rice. And then they needed a striker. I don't think they needed a winger. Yeah, maybe Madueke, or however you pronounce him, is better than Martinelli and Saka. I'm not going to deny that. I think Saka has been overhyped a bit, but every English player is overhyped. So we'll see what ends up happening. Harry Kane is 31, isn't he? Yeah, but Harry Kane was winning golden boots and still not recognised as one of the best strikers in England. Which I found funny. Because he was with Tottenham. Like, he wasn't properly recognised as a world-class striker until he was around 27. Now, maybe that's me smoking the old oil and I'm completely wrong. But, I mean, like, I'm not saying he was performing bad in his early 20s. I just don't think he was recognised as a world-class prolific striker. I mean, Duck, you're right about that. But the player he lost was Rodri. Like, there's losing one key player, and then there's losing fucking Rodri. Like, legitimately, I'd say if back in 99, or back in the time in the early 90s, if you lost fucking George Best or you lost Roy Keane or one of them, United would have fallen like a block of bloody bricks. So we'll see. Well, they did have people to replace him. That's what they bought Matthias Nunes for. That's what they bought oh shite! I don't even remember the City squad, because City bloody rotate players so much. But they did buy people specifically to replace Rodri. Well, to understudy Rodri. So they did buy players. Kovacic, that's the other one as well. Yeah, Kovacic. So like ironically, they probably could have used Moise Caicedo. Had no back. Yeah. But like what I was saying about Harry Kane, do you think I'm spouting horseshit, or do you think I'm somewhat accurate? Like, what do you think yourself? They had I don't even know what you're meant to end up stating there with that spelling there. Gungion. I've never heard of him, unless you mean Gundogan. All I'll say is what happened there? I want to rewatch this because what happened there? That's a glitch. Yeah, Gundogan. Yeah, that's Gundogan. Yeah, isn't it? Oh, bounce off his foot. Fine. That's an own goal. That's an own goal. That isn't Ardguller's goal. Spicy Gion mustard. Okay. Benny. Son of an Arlian whore. I blame you for the concession. Anyways. Benny, you might hate me for this. And honestly, I deeply apologize if you do. But I don't like mustard. Well, tell us how you really feel about that. This is one of the most obnoxious blurps I have. Thank you so much. Anyway, we need to come back into this and score another goal. First bloody attack, the end of getting after we score. Spicy Dion mustard, you do put on a concession, to be fair. Yeah. American mustard is as sweet as anything. Bunch of bloody wimps. I mean, I actually haven't had American mustard. I know it's recommended in Eddie Rockets, which I also haven't tried in years. But I'm also quite a wimp when it comes down to my burgers. Also, what a goal by Aaron Guller. Just ricocheted into the back of the net. Well, you're as well, tell us. Anyways, I suppose I should ask too, Benny, how is work treating you? Is it going grand? Let's test this out again. Let's see how it goes this time. Is it readable? Is it sound? We're going to test this out and see. It's readable this time! I don't know why it does two of them, but I don't really give a shit. Let's be honest, Benny. That shout-out was more for testing purposes than the actual... What a goal. Never mind, I'll shut up. Jude Bellingham deserves the praise instead of you. What a goal. What a goal. That's a fantastic goal right there. Burgers get cheese, sometimes barbecue sauce, sometimes bacon, sometimes pickles. I mean, it depends what you want in it. There's a burger joint near me here in my local constituency, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But I have to go for the chicken burger because the chicken burger has less stuff on it, because I don't like lettuce, I don't like mayonnaise, I don't like pickles, I don't like tomatoes. And unfortunately, as a result of which, I am a pansy baby ass when it comes down to burgers. I'll admit it. I am. But if I can get a nice burger, I'll happily eat it. But my burgers are always plain, and I feel like such a Neanderthal going into a burger joint and just asking for a plain burger. You know? Maybe as I get older and my taste nullifies, I might actually start to enjoy it more. When you had one of mine break for a week and a half, Duck was able to tell me the minute and everything last Friday till your last stream. Okay, I'll pretend to understand what that means. Anyway, what did you want to tell me, Skull? Because you never actually mentioned it. When you had one of mine break for a week and a half, Duck was able to tell me the minute and everything last Friday till your stream. When you had one of your break... Okay, maybe rewrite that if that's what you're trying to tell me. Anyways, let's make some changes. Okay, so Bellingham is tired, so we'll replace Bellingham with Brim. Seller has a card, so we'll replace you with Libe. Ard has a card, so we'll replace you with Oscar. Cora has a card, so we'll replace you with Gay. And we'll replace Marco with Ortega, because why not give the youngster a go? We're up 2 goals. Brain aneurysm. I'm guessing that's the word you were going for there, Duck. Aneurysm, is it? So, you've been listening to more Fabrizio Romano. You remember when you streamed, you decided to take a wee mini break. Well, I had personal issues going on, but yeah. Marco! You useless sack of Yankee-danky doodle shite. One-on-one with the goalkeeper as the one of the main strikers for Real Madrid. You need to be doing better than that, Marco. I haven't heard anything about Real Madrid's preseason since the Club World Cup. I don't even know if they played in a game since then. But I'm a bit surprised they haven't been doing more in the market or anything as well. Like, I know they've signed the defender from... Oh God, which team did they sign the defender for 60 million off of? It's one of the teams we end up facing anyway. But interesting. And now it's even better, Katie, because I'm here. And I know that's in reaction to me being off for a week, but screw you, I'm here now, so it's even better. This is an even better week than last week. You can end up cha-cha-chan with me. Yes, Bournemouth. Yes. Bournemouth. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Anyways, we're going to get a nice win out of this one here, which is beautiful to end up hearing and seeing. So let's see what ends up happening from this point as well with this. So we have one more league game before Barcelona, which is a league game as well. But still, we'll see how things end up going. Marco does deserve to get a bit of a bollocking. Let's see if he ends up going bad about it. No. So, you know, you have to try. It's probably, like, I'm long enough in it now that everyone knows me, but it's that weird period in this game of bollocking the crap out of someone enough to get them to start playing. It's kind of why I miss the, fining structure you used to be able to do for bad performances. So it's like back in, I think, the game before this, if I went to Marco now, I could go and you could fine someone under this for the performance in the last game, instead of just doing, you know, you squander too many chances. Aw, you BK, like what? BK, like walking on Lego pieces. What does BK mean in that reference? Oh, it literally just means back. Oh, you back like walking on Lego pieces. Ah, okay. Yeah, but we've established before, Katie, you're a masochist. You enjoy the pain. You enjoy the suffering. You enjoy the delivery I give you. Don't worry, Katie. You enjoy when I end up going. Thank you for banning him, by the way. No. Oh, Doc, please do tell me more. Yuki, I'm lost for words, actually, Duck. But hey, joys of it. Yeah, I look at that after the stream. But thank you so much for the link.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Dollar.
Money talks. God, I love that song. I genuinely love that song. Why, Senior Duck? Why are humans so stupid? Do expand on us. What the F? Play football with a bowling ball, not feet protection, and Legos all over the spot. Yeah, it's people being tits. And Barcelona won the Spanish Cup, because of course they bloody did. Atletico, you couldn't do the job once. You couldn't do the job once, you useless sack of crap. Just stop them once. Of course Barca are the ones that ended up going through it. Atletico take me out, but they failed to take out Barcelona. Feckin' typical. Anyways, me and another mod used to time each other out. See who's fastest to ban other bots. I mean, to be fair, Benny, typically, when he's paying attention, ends up being bonkersly quick at catching them. But it's nice to end up having a couple of people do that, like... Why? Benny, why are you apologizing for that? I'm... like... You're not being paid for it. Fuck it. If you, I'm just stating your awesome record when it ends up happening. How is Mark treating you at the moment, by the way? Is it good? Is it dandy? Is it so say? 0.1 seconds. I mean, yeah, you got to it bonkersly quick. Like it came. Like you got to that so quick, Katie. That the ban in my message alerts here, the ban came up before the message. That's how quick you got to it. You got to it so quick that the ban came in on my messages before the message did. So there's an indication for you how fast you ended up doing that. So I deeply appreciate it. Glad people have their specialisms. Yes, mine is being an incredibly handsome. So handsome that they have me on a list whenever I end up going flying. As a result, that I just don't end up causing people to swoon so much that the plane will end up crashing. You know, I'm just incredibly handsome. And incredibly annoying. But, you know, we all have our specialities. In fact, yes, the account has already been nuked by Twitch. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Twitch and the view botting situation. See how much of a dip Twitch's overall viewership experiences due to the view bots. They'll have to start paying that Spanish streamer to start doing more events. Because there's one Spanish streamer, I don't remember his name, who, when he comes on to do something on Twitch, Twitch's user base, I think it 5x's. I think Twitch typically has 2.3 million people at any one time watching it. And when that Spanish streamer comes on, it bumps up to about 9.8. No! After turning sharply, you stupid bastard. You're 21. How are you getting injured for turning? How do you get injured for turning? Why is... Oh, your username is still your original username. Back when you were Dodo, God of Extinct. Wait, are you Dodo? You are... No, yeah, you're crazed God of the Quack. Yeah, I was wondering. Back when you were a weirdo. Back when you were odd. Anyway, you managed to skirt away that bloody thought process too. What name are you going for, Senior Duck? When you do end up getting the possibility of changing your name, you never informed me. Are you going to one of your original names? Are you going to a brand new name? What name are you going for? You done that malicious, like miraculously well, avoiding the principle, avoiding the conversations. Also, by the way, I know it's against Perth Glory, but AC Milan scoring 9 goals is interesting too. Oh, Duck God of the Quack, my original ain't available. Oh, Duck Odd of the Quack. Maybe. Also, here's a question for you. Maybe some of you know. Where's Destiny? Because I noticed today in the Tottenham game, he wasn't on the bench and he wasn't in the squad. So where's Destiny? Because I think he's their best young talent. I genuinely think he's going to be a generational left back. But it's interesting that he wasn't there. Is he injured or something? Now, I will say, Sa is another particularly great player. Pepe Sa. That's his name, isn't it? Pepe Sa? Yeah, Pepe Sa. I think he's a phenomenal player as well. But it's surprising to me that... Crack, get your words, it ain't that difficult. It's surprising to me that Destiny wasn't there. God, Barca are not letting up at all, are they? I mean, I know we have the goal difference if it does come around to it, but we don't want to have to rely on that. What? No! guarantee you they won't end up negotiating now after that complete fuck up. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't think I saved after the last game, I honestly would. I honestly would reset. But screw it, whatever. We're grand. Anyways, our goalkeeper is injured, which is annoying. But what can you really do? Why do you need to be registered for the Spanish League? Oh, 18 or younger. That's fascinating. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So we don't have a secondary goalkeeper now. Damn. I think the best way to describe this revelation is... Scream. I don't even want to try and pronounce that last name. At the SA South Africa World Cup 2010. That was a very good World Cup. It's just a shame that all of the stadiums and the whole lot ended up being thrown away after the fact of that World Cup. Okay. I think we go with that. I think we will go with Adame this time because Malaga are one of the worst teams in the league, so we should be able to get away with this. Foston, we have Gade there, and we have Edmund there. We don't have Edmund. So yeah, screw it. We'll go without Foston at all in this game and go with Laffy on the wing. Ard Guller will swap with Oscar and Pedro. Screw it, we'll give Pedro a go. And Marco, you performed crap the last time. Enric needs to get a goal. So we'll go with that. Goal for South Africa, goal for all of Africa. Yeah, that does sound like Peter Drury, but Peter Drury is one of the best commentators ever. I will argue that. How Peter Drury isn't the main commentator on EAFC is bonkers to me. Absolutely bonkers to me. Like, I'd pay that money an arm and a hand basket in order to do it. It's the same thing, and I realised Duck will end up shouting at me for this one. It's the same thing as I'm fucking shocked WWE isn't giving Mauro Ronaldo all the money in the world to bring him back. To be honest. Because there really should be. Mauro Ronaldo was just so good there. I'll also say something that not a lot of people will end up disagreeing with me with. I think Michael Cole is better with Pat McAfee. Sorry. Screamer, not going to try it, was the manager of the South African team after they were allowed to enter the FIFA system post-Appy Head. I don't know what that is. I genuinely don't know what that is. So, interesting. I'll have to search that up because I don't know what that actually is. Interesting. Went over mine too, to be fair, Benny. But I'm not as intelligent as you, so. Okay, so in we go for another game now. Let's hope this ends up going down. That is a very, very, very pretty emote. Because he's a... Oh, yeah, I figured you were making a joke about his second name being Screaming as well, to be fair. I just didn't think it was a good joke. What the hell happened there? A corner. Fair enough. Yeah. I've had to start doing something new. Oh, Laffy! Congratulations, Laffy. We spent a fortune on you, and you're finally doing something good. Your position has kind of been robbed twice from you. You're never playing in this position, by the way, so... Like, fair play to you. Like, we got him for 57 million quid. We spent more money on him than we should have, based on how he was, but he was fantastic for Offerman. And he needs to improve. But we'll see what ends up happening with him. He's still very young. He's 20. But yeah, I've started, as I said, I started doing boxing, which means for the foreseeable future, my Wednesdays, there's going to be no stream on the Wednesdays, but I will be going on to the Discord when I come back, playing a few gotchas, maybe an hour of content, if I'm able to. What a goal. Holy crap, Rim. Holy crap, Rim. I know this is Malaga, who are a bottom of the table team, but what a goal. That is a... That's a Pulisic award. Holy crap, what a goal. But yeah, I'll be doing Discords then for an hour or something like that, depending on my tiredness, depending on if I end up meeting someone on the day. Polkas, that's it, yeah. Yeah, I was giving too much praise to the 26-year-old American midfielder. I still can't believe he's 26. I still can't believe he's 26. It's AC Milan he's with, right? Because he used to be... He was at Tottenham at one point, wasn't he? Or am I thinking of an entirely different player? Yeah, 1998, 26. No, it was Chelsea he was with. That's who it was. It was Chelsea, yeah. Still, 23 goals for a midfielder, too, in 70 games isn't actually that bad. He has more goals in 28 less games for AC Milan than he did at Chelsea. So he's still improving, to be fair to him. I wonder if he'll ever make his way back to England. Like, I'd take him at United. I very much doubt he'd go to us, but I'd take him at United if you got him for an okay price. Because we do need another midfielder. I mean, you're probably not wrong on that, Benny. But based on the system that we're doing, I think he would fit in an Amarin system. I'm still just curious where the hell we're going to play Mbuemu. I think Mbuemu is the one that surprises me. I haven't a clue where we're going to play him. Ooh, Streamer Hub. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? I mean, yes, it is like talking to a brick wall, to be fair. I don't blame you. English clubs would know how to use them. English clubs tend to horribly underutilize American outfield players. I don't think it has anything to do with them being American. And I also don't really agree with that. I think when Giovanni was on loan at Nottingham Forest, I think Nottingham Forest played him fairly well. Now, Reina, that's his name, Giovanni Reina, isn't it? Like, when he was at Nottingham Forest, I think Nottingham Forest played him very well. I just think there hasn't been a good American midfielder in the Premier League for quite a while. I think it's the same way as there hasn't been a properly good Irish player in the Premier League in quite a while. Like, hopefully, when he comes back, Evan Ferguson will be that player. But I think at the moment, it has to be Seamus Coleman for Ireland. I don't think there's a girth. of American talent outside the MLS anyway. We'll argue on this anyway. I don't think Wesley McKenna's a good player. And that might start a fight. But we'll see. We'll see. Like, I think Giovanni Reyna, it will be a fantastic player, but he's not signed to anyone in the Premier League. I think Younas will be a fantastic... I think he's American. Younas will be a very good player. You have a good few young players, but none of them are in England. Now, be that because the rest of the European teams are just better at poking players from America? Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you should convince that striker, or that goalkeeper that you found, that 17-year-old goalkeeper that your team ends up having, convince United to end up signing him instead of going over to Royal Antwerp and robbing their goalkeeper. I mean, we'll argue on that one. I don't think Weston McKennie is good. Personally, I don't. I think Reyna and Pulisic are far, far better than him. Far better than him. But at the same point in time, I'm not willing to burn bridges on that one. I mean, if he became legitimately, I understand your point on that one, and you're not wrong. But at the same point in time, if you became the goalkeeper that spawned back United, you'll be in the annals of history for years. Like, if you become the actual David De Gea replacement, like, you'll be in the annals of history for years, you know? So, I just need to mute myself for 1 second. I have a phone call, so I'll be back in a second. But yeah, no, that's my opinion. And again, maybe I'm Delulu. But legit, I think whoever becomes the goalkeeper for United will be it. I mean, I don't disagree with you on that, Benny. But at the same point in time, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think Tim Howard turned around and said that the melting pot of the United goal was like nothing he ever was in before. It was like a vortex of pressure ended up coming around you, and he didn't like it at United. At the same point in time, like, we were in that weird transitionary period where Ferguson was trying every goalkeeper he could find. So, you know, it's hard to know with him. I think we got Tim Howard. I think we got Tim Howard too early. I think if we were able to nick Tim Howard back off of Everton in 2010, I think he would have been good then. The thing is, in 2010, who was our goalkeeper? I think that we had De Gea by then. So I don't think Tim Howard was ready for United when we had him. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it was fantastic for Everton, by the way. Anyway, I'll go back up to some of the other ones first before I continue on. That was about Andrew Rick, the goalkeeper. Wait a minute. 6-month loan, and he had the best USA midfielder in... Why would I run? Okay. Yeah. McKenna is not good. Pulisic's is class. Brilliant at Chelsea. Wasn't a good move because how they run, and Reina needs a move. I'm kind of shocked based on how good Reina did last year that Nottingham didn't sign him, and that someone like Tottenham didn't go in for him. To be honest. No, Benny, we got Van de Sar. Tim Howard wasn't that bad at United. You're forgetting Howard played for United. They were rebuilding the squad. Yeah, I think he was brought in as a secondary goalkeeper when we had him, with the potential that he could be one of the best. I just think we got him a wee bit too early. Okay, see, I didn't know enough about the lure back then. Yeah, it's one of those weird situations, but I do know at one point he was top 5 keepers in the world. I mean, Tim Howard's goal is still one of the best goals of all time. Yeah, no, that sounds so. That's again, time wise, I'm a bit like Skull there. I'd need to investigate it a bit. I know it was in the transitionary period where we were going through goalkeepers that Tim Howard came around, because we had Tim Howard for 4 years. We had Tim Howard for 4 years, and he played something like 45 games. But yeah, it's just one of those situations. But, like, legitimately for the player we're on about there, it'd be far too much pressure for the 17-year-olds anyway, so that's not really the point. I was just pulling the piss. But everyone who has ever played in the goal for United has said it's like a vortex of pressure coming on you. It is probably the worst goals in the world to play in. And that's both for United and against United. Whatever it is about Old Trafford, everyone says the pressure of being a goalkeeper in Old Trafford is fucking bonkers. Everyone has said it. Every goalkeeper I've ever heard say it has said it. Now, to be fair, the current one that's saying it is Foster. Ben Foster. No, it's not Ben Foster. What's his name? It's Foster, isn't it? Yeah, Ben Foster. Ben Foster. Even he said it as well, and he only played the fucking goals 12 times. It's a paradox of situations. The United goals. It's bonkers. The problem Howard at United was he was a young goalkeeper the first time away from the US. The big task. Correct if he was 3 years. Yeah. Like, we got very lucky with De Gea. Insanely lucky with De Gea. And that's why I'm really happy that we've done this Florentina match as well, because hopefully at the end of the match against Florentina, they do a round of procession. What a horrible goal to concede. But hopefully they do a round of procession for De Gea after that Florentina game, because he fucking deserves it. I don't think Tomas Kuzak is good at all. Genuinely, I don't. I don't think he was good at all. But we had a lot of bad goalkeepers. I think Tim Howard will forever go in the annals of, like, Pickford. Like, I know he was in a big club, but you started to play good and no one just nicked you at the time. Like, genuinely, when Pickford started playing good there in the last 4 to 5 years, I'm shocked someone like Chelsea didn't come in and take him. I'm still shocked Chelsea haven't signed a proper goalkeeper yet. And if the Donnarumma rumors are true, there's no way Chelsea don't try and get him. Even though, imagine that poke. I know it's complete and utter horse manure, but imagine that poke if we got... Oh, I agree with you 100%, Benny. I agree with you 100%. Like, I think Aaron Ramsdale is better than him. I think Nicholas Pope is better than him. I think Martin Dubravka is better than him. Feck it, I think, and here's the big poke, I think Dean Henderson is better than him. I 100% agree with you, but I more mean a goalkeeper that's performing well in a lower down the division team that has the potential to improve when they get better, but wasn't given the chance to improve because they didn't go anywhere. You know, we'll never know with Pickford. I think he's overrated now because he didn't join someone. But the same way as with strikers, you don't know until the package comes together. As a player, just as a player, Haaland is not the complete package. In a team built around Haaland, he's the best striker in the world. You know? As I said there, when Ronaldo joined United, United wasn't built around United wasn't built around Ronaldo the second time he came around. If he was with fucking City, he would have scored 30 goals and been the best striker in the world that year. You know? Everything is leaps and balances. Everything depends on the team. Fuck me! What a goal! Holy crap, what a goal! I will say it too, and again, this is the transfer season debacle. As you say, it's the annoying thing about transfer season, you end up hearing all the shite. But the fact that there is a rumour that Newcastle want to get Aaron Ramsdale and we might go in and get Nicholas Pope is interesting. Stupid, but interesting. And Howard is everything. No one needed goalkeepers at the time. Maybe. I think England and the US are in an odd spot right now where they have a lot of good potential but absolutely lacking top-class goalkeeping quality. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Now, we'll see. England have a lot of young, like very young goalkeepers that could be good. They have, what is this fucker? What is this fucker? I'm sorry. What is this player? That's true. I think he has a hat-trick. No, he has 2. But holy crap, those 2 goals. He has just been a goddamn unit. I need to make subs now anyway, but holy crap. Seller, too, the most senior bloody defender we have on the pitch. Anyway, I take Pope, I take anyone, but look, I'll argue till the bloody moon is home. Onana is not as bad as everyone turns around and says he is. He's been making a lot of mistakes. The pressure has obviously been boiling over the pot. Problem is, I think Onana, at his current confidence level and his current ability level, is a top 6 goalkeeper. Yes, let the sirens chant. Yes, people will turn around and say that. I think he would do fantastic at Newcastle. I think he would do fantastic at Chelsea, considering the way they play. I think he'd be shite at Arsenal. I think he'd be shite at Liverpool. I think he'd be shite at City. I think he'd be good if he went back to Inter Milan. I think he'd be good at PSG, ironically enough. I think Onana is not that bad of a goalkeeper. Some of his fundamentals are atrocious, and especially because of how bad we are at set pieces. Corners are the man's worst fucking nightmare. But I genuinely don't think Onana is anywhere near as bad as people end up stating he is. Now again, that could be me being the optimist. I think the same about Mount. I think the same about Højlund. I think the same about Garnacho. I think the same about Ahmad. I think the same about Dogu. I think the same about all of them. I've been saying it about the players that have been coming through. I am more nice to players than I am negative to players. I don't think Onana is that bad, but he's not Manchester United quality. I will 100% admit that. And he wasn't 55 million quid worth when we signed him. I'm telling you, man, Andrew Rick, write that name down. If he stays on the path, he'll be amazing. I'll tell you now, Benny. Fair enough. Fair enough. But he needs to get out of the MLS. And that's nothing to do with the MLS. But he needs to be playing in a fast game. He needs to be playing in a fast game. The MLS isn't fast enough yet For if he wants to be a world-class goalkeeper, the MLS isn't fast enough yet. It's not that, like... And again, correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think La Liga is faster. I think Serie A is more technical, but still faster when it comes down to the actual goals. I think the Bundesliga is faster. I think the Turkish league is faster, and obviously the Premier League is faster. Okay? But at the same point in time, I think for the offensive capability he needs, I think he needs to leave the MLS in order to just see that ruthlessness. I think it's a fast game, the MLS, but and there's nothing wrong with this. Based on the small bits I've seen of it, and correct me, you watch a hell of a lot more of it than I do, it's a far more technical league than a fast league, if you get what I mean. And I think for a goalkeeper at a young age that wants to be a world-class goalkeeper, I think he needs to go, ideally, to the Bundesliga. Ideally to the Bundesliga. England would have won the Euros if they had a better goalkeeper. Honestly, nah, they would have won the Euros with a better manager. I don't think the goalkeeper mattered. What all you have to do is shoot at him and get a goal 8 out of 10 times. I don't agree at all. I genuinely don't agree at all. Skull. Not gonna argue with you, but I genuinely don't agree at all. I genuinely don't agree at all. Like, and what's really, really funny about the Onana situation is statistically, he was one of the best goalkeepers in the league last year. Which is what's really fucking funny about it, stat-wise. But he also was one of the most contested goalkeepers last year. Like, we were far better defensively than we were the year before that. But, like, the really sad thing about it is we haven't been as defensively secure as we should have been since De Gea has left. Since De Gea has left, I think on average, United end up getting more shots on their keeper than the bottom teams in concession leagues almost combined. We are top 5 teams for shots being done on us. Now, we're good at saving them, we're good at defending them, we're good at stopping them, but he gets almost 3 times more shots put at him than David Raya, than Sadie and Edison and Allison. He gets almost 3 times more shots. Now, again, in terms of his base play, is he good enough? No. But he is getting 3 times more shots than the nearest competitor you're comparing him to. So that's a problem in of itself as well. I'm not going to argue with you, by the way, about him leaving the MLS. I just gave my opinion. If you think he's able to stay there, fair enough. I mean, you say that, Benny, but who? Who have you developed legitimately who haven't left the MLS, who are still in the MLS, that would slot into any of the top 10 in the Premier League? And and I will lay way to your knowledge on that one, because I don't know. Crack, you know I'm not a fan of Mount. I take 11 Mounts over Onana that bad. Hey, I gave my opinion. Whatever you think yourself. Like, that's my opinion on Onana. I'm not turning around saying he's a good goalkeeper, but that's my opinion. The fact that he's had 3 times more shots than the nearest competitors to him and has still had fairly good stats, he's not as bad as people have put him out to be. That's not stating he's good. He's just not as bad as people have been putting him out to be. But just right now, is there anyone in the MLS that is from the MLS, developed in the MLS, not brought in from somewhere else, but from the MLS? Like, if they're in the academy and brought in from somewhere else, that's fine, but that means they've been developed in the MLS. Is there anyone from the MLS that you could slot into the top 10 that have been developed in the MLS. I don't know of anyone. You're not a developing league. And there's nothing wrong with that. You'll get there. But as I've turned around and I said, I think the MLS is a good 10 years off of where it needs to be the fundamentals for a good league. And of course I mean that because the MLS is going to be the best left back of all time. Look, I think you're losing me a bit on what I'm saying. You're developing talent. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think you're developing top talent. Todges, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? I know, and I've missed you too. How has the RP been going in GTA? Has the fishing been going well? You're 2-3 hours fishing in that one particular section of the pier. We're playing away here. This has been a far more tight game than it deserved to be. We have been performing surprisingly shite, but hopefully we'll end up getting through this without an issue. If we draw in this game, it's a catastrophe of catastrophes, by the way. Damn, fucker. Yeah, but I was only talking about the national team and more specific Rick. Oh, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And again, I'm just giving a personal opinion. I don't have a problem with him staying in the MLS. If he's as good as you say he is, I'd love if we went in for him. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, based on what I know of goalkeeping, I think the best thing for his career is to move to specifically the Bundesliga. Try and get to Borussia Dortmund, make them develop him now. I'm not arguing at all towards that he won't become the bona fide talent at the end of the MLS. Fair play to him if he does. Just giving a generalized opinion, which I'm sure you know as well. Not played it for a week. Should be back tonight. Well, fair play to you if you do. I will say you need to get him a nice haircut. The pink hair is a bit much. Just been working on getting my shoulder back strong and hopefully play abroad next season. Happy out. What type of rehabilitation have you been doing in the shoulder to get it strong? I think Zach Stefan, Matt Turner, and the Arison brothers have had that issue of going to the wrong spot to develop, or I think the problem in the US is the talent right now, if too quick to move on from the MLS. That's fair, because there is a very big cultural change from moving from America into Europe as well. And unfortunately, big situation of parents not following them and guardianships letting the people fall down. Ironically, I think something that would help an awful lot, an insane amount that would help an awful lot of American talent, is if you start to, and maybe more of the MLS do this. I don't know. I think one of the things that would help them is if they started doing associated links with South America and had players from South America go to North America and players from North America go to South America, learn the skills of South America, learn the intensity of North America, and then boom, you've basically just built a fucking, iron wall of strength. Because Brazil and Argentina already build great players, but they don't have great foundational plays, and an awful lot of them end up going through the wayside on attitude and a whole lot. And I think America, no one has ever said this before, but I think America is better at developing that type of way. Oh, well, happy out. Bench press, and more bench press. Well, congratulations to you. What weights are you doing on the bench press at the moment? I am 110 kilograms for 5 is what I'm at the moment. I need to improve. My bench press is 110 for 5. My deadlift is 170 for 3. I did get 180, but I didn't get the full extension, so it doesn't really count. But yeah. Congratulations to you. It's a pleasure to hear it. Was supposed to play in Spain at the start of the month. Just couldn't get the plan. Fuck that. I guess it's the joys of being in England where the European passport doesn't end up working, but hopefully you get it sorted out soon so it ends up coming in. The whole discovery rights in the Thomas Muller debacle is a front to football. I don't know anything about it. Duck, if you want to give us a wee bit more information. You're as well, give it to me, Skull. In terms of your weights on the bench press or my weights on the bench press, Hodges, for the no comment. Because that wasn't me trying to throw shade at you or anything like that, by the way. That's literally just comparing notes. That's anything is better than fucking doing nothing. Like, I have the height of respect for anyone that does gym. Not really, Skull. I'm always able to go through. Linus, my friend, it has been some time. What's a crack-a-lacking with you? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? I'll have you know, Linus, recently, outside of the stream, I have been attempting to get better at Pokemon Nuzlocke. You, one of the originals, will end up remembering this. So, as a result of it, I named my first Pokemon Linus, and I named the rival Linus. Because you were there when I attempted the Pokemon Red Nuzlocke, that debacle of 4 streams. If you remember those good times. Okay, as in my income. I might end up doing that again. As in my income. But yeah, no, it's how's life been treating you anyway these days, Linus? It's a pleasure to end up seeing you nowadays. We finally have the follow age and the watch time fixed again. It'll probably be reset for yourself, so you won't know what it is. And of course, there's the Discord check-in, which is a new way of reminding yourself how many times you've come into the stream as well if you want to. But it's a pleasure to end up seeing you, my friend. Genuinely, seeing some of the people that ended up coming in when I started is amazing. It gives me a special bump in my heart. Say it backwards, please, Crack. Okay. Iomi maya nin zaz. Okay, there, I attempted it. I'm sorry, pronouncing it backwards is awfully hard, Skull. No, Hodges, thankfully, the original job that I had has been able to continue on sound, and I'm able to continue with it. So that's prolonging it for a wee bit longer, and then I'm attempting to do little extra bits as well to improve myself as well as that. But I'm enjoying life at the moment, thankfully. What about yourselves? Are you working with anything at the moment? But it's great with me. Just watch Hambry knock out Charlie and going through to the qualifying match against Rosenborg. That is for the FA Cup. Would it be, Linus? Or would that be for the Conference League? No, it would have to be the FA Cup because Hambry's not Welsh, is it? Because it could be the Conference League if it's Welsh. Let me check. I always forget where Hambry is. Oh, no, it is the Conference League. Oh, then you must be Welsh, are you? Oh, Swedish. That's it, yeah. Yeah. Happy out. 2-1. An aggregate, too. So the first game was 0-0. Happy out. Getting 2 goals when you're away, too, is a nice old thing. Well, congratulations to you. Will you try and go to one of the games against Rosenborg, if you can get it? As my income, say it backwards. I mean, it did say it backwards. What's wrong with your Skull? That's good. Glad you're sorted. Yeah, brilliant. I know. I'm happy out with it now. So yeah, I'm just kept at my own stuff. I mean, either way, I didn't mind. I'm thankfully in a good enough position that if I needed to go unemployed for a bit, I'd be fine. Todges, I know what he's trying to do. I'm being a smart arse. Like, it's way back. It say, come in. M-Y as. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Way back, come in my ass. Happy house? I'll even bend over for you. But yeah, I'd say that'd be an awesome match to go to too, Linus, if you ended up getting the chance to. I mean, Benny, it's about as sus as your support with the 17-year-old Miles Lewis Skelly. I mean, I think he's 20 now, so that's actually a bad joke. What actual age is Miles at the moment? He's 18. He's 18. So at least it's legal. I've always loved the people that can do with the dots, the little image. You know, that can create an image out of them. I don't have the patience to bother with that. Todges, do we need to have a conversation again? Oh yeah, ASCII art. It's beautiful, to be honest, if you have the patience to bother to do it. I genuinely, I'd love to be good at art. Like, anyone that's good at art, you're brilliant. It's a fantastic skill to end up having. Also, Rosenborg played a Lithuanian team in their game, so I wished with everything I had that Rosenborg would lose, so I could go to both games. Rosenborg won set. Wow! Damn. But at the end of the day, you'll enjoy one of the games anyway when you end up getting the chance to see it. My old music teacher. Oh, wow! Jesus. Screw that. Holy crap. Yeah, but like Lithuania is a small country, so it makes sense. Hopefully, like if you want to know something that's good for Lithuania as a country has better facilities than Ireland. So at least you can feel proud that way. We somehow have worse facilities for football than Lithuania, even though at one particular point in time we were ranked fairly high in the world rankings. God, the FAI annoys the bollocks off of me. Ugh. It genuinely annoys me how atrocious we have been to the development of football in this country. Good at basketball. Have you ever played it yourself? They're now a murder. There's now a murderer, a nonce. Oh, so you had a murderer at it as well. Wow, Christ. Thankfully, nothing like that ended up happening in my area. Like, the most scandalous thing that happened in my area was the vice principal ended up... Supposedly, all of this is supposedly, if anyone ends up saying anything, I say all of this with the capability that I'm not 100% so, I should take this with air quotes. Cover on my own ass. Supposedly, the vice principal ended up having an affair with a 20-year-old biology teacher in one of the local schools beside me when his wife was heavily, heavily pregnant. That's about the most scandalous thing that's happened around my area. Screw that, to be honest. I genuinely think the nonsense deserve to get capital punishment. A little when I was younger, but I didn't really play a long time. Yeah. It's beautiful when schools and the whole lot get you proper showcases into sport. Like, the only sport I ended up having access to in school was the Gaelic. We didn't even play soccer in our school. It was only the GA. If you didn't like the GA, you didn't play anything else. So I didn't get any interactions with basketball or anything like that. I'm not tall enough anyway. I'm only 5'10". Built fairly big, but I'm only 5'10". So basketball wouldn't have been the thing for me anyway. And I done rugby for around 3 weeks, but I started it too late. Fair enough. Happy out, Skull. Who'd you get to do it? 2 teachers had an affair in the science cupboard as well. Wow. Your school has it all, Todges. Has it all. How are you feeling about the fact that you're after getting Hugo and Tekie, by the way? I don't know. I like Hugo and Tekie, but I genuinely think he's not worth the 70 million quid you spent on him. No, I didn't watch the All-Ireland final, Skull, to be honest with you. I just know it was surprising that Tipperary won it. Do you think so? Do you think he scores 20? I don't know. I think he's still young. He's young enough that he can make good. But I don't know. I think Núñez needs... Honestly, I think Núñez needs a loan. Like, I wouldn't, like, at this point you've bought a striker and you're probably going to get Isak as well, so sell the fucker all you can. But legitimately, I think he needs a loan. But at the end of the day now, maybe Núñez will be able to perform something if he plays in Luis Diaz's position. Now, I know that you'll have Cody Gakpo playing there, but I still don't know how you managed to get 70 million quid for Luis Diaz. World. But we'll see what ends up happening. He's a very good player. He's a good player. Hugo is the grandson for... I don't know. I still think there's something in Nicholas Jackson. Do like United did with Anthony. That's what Núñez needs. Kinda, yeah. But at the same point in time, my problem with what United did with Anthony is United ended up sending Anthony off for a loan, and Anthony actually performed well. And there's no chance for him to get back into the team. I completely understand why people have turned around and says he shot his bullet is gone, leave him to the wayside, he's done, he's dusted, Bob's your uncle. But I really would like if Anthony was given another chance to actually prove himself. Like, I know they want to sell him and the whole lot, and fine to have that opinion, but I legitimately would have liked to have seen Anthony be given another go, because he's not like Rashford, who whinged and complained and bitched at the club and ended up putting out a statement to end up demeaning the club. He legitimately tried to improve, and did improve, you know? So, I kind of wish Anthony was given another chance. Anyways, let's look at this. Need to focus now for a second. Okay. So, this is the team we go with in what is arguably one of our biggest games of the season. If we beat Barcelona here, we're almost guaranteed to be La Liga champions. If we beat them, we're almost guaranteed it. So we'll see what's happened. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Skull. I like Rashford. I understand it. He ended up doing an interview. Alejandro Garnacho, I understand it. He ended up having massive arguments with 4 managers and became an impertinent little shit who's going to be rewarded by it by getting to go to Chelsea. Anthony didn't do anything wrong, so I kind of wish he was given a chance. At the same point in time, if we're given 40 to 50 million quid by Saudi Arabia, fucking sell him. Like, out the door you go if we get money for him. But, like, I kind of wish he was on the tour. Yeah, and the fact that you got him for 8 million quid this year and then 5 years of spending is bonkers as well. I do think my thing with Frimpong is I think he's not as good offensively as Trent. And you didn't really expect anyone to be as offensively good as Trent. But I like Connor. Or what's his name? It is Connor, isn't it? Connor Bradley, or whatever his name is. I like him more than Frimpong at the moment. I don't think you needed Frimpong, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. You've more than enough money, so we'll see what ends up happening. Personally, I think you're the favourites to win the league. I don't think Arsenal are your only competition. I think Chelsea are your competition. I think Chelsea are the big guns. And I don't think Chelsea are done. I think they're going to get a goalkeeper. If Chelsea are smart and go and get a goalkeeper, genuinely I'd be worried if I were you. I think Chelsea have it. The only thing Chelsea might be missing at the moment, other than a goalkeeper, is the manager. But maybe Maresca can do it. I'd be scared of Chelsea. Well, yeah, because see, when he was with United, he was falsely accused of bloody rape by 3 women. I was going to say, in that Tottenham-Arsenal game, Arsenal didn't look good. At least that's my opinion. He didn't look good in that. And Arsenal didn't look good. I think, now again, obviously it's pre-season, but if Arsenal play against us like they did against Tottenham, I think there's a chance we walk away with a win in the first game of the season. Okay, so he goes with a bit of a run. Now, to be fair, no one is going to give him... Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's a good cross. And it's a great tap-in goal, to be fair. Who is your 98? Like, it's a great goal. But I'll admit, at that area of the box, in that area of the box, there's no way in the Premier League he should be given that much space. He shouldn't be allowed to cross from there in the Premier League. He should be out wider. That's all I'll state about that. I'm not going to argue anything about it because it's not fair. It's a good cross. It's a good goal. But I don't think you'd get that cross in the Premier League. That's all I'll say about that. That is the buck there. He looks good. But we'll see. Again, Todges, it's hard to bloody know. You are against Yokohama. You are against the Japanese team that aren't, great. And pre-season. I very much doubt that kid's going to get much time. But hey, who gives a crap? Genuinely, who gives a crap? If you have talent coming up the wins, fuck it, that's what you want. All I'd say about the Frimpong situation, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, is he just won't get that type, he shouldn't get that type of easy cross in the Premier League. And Delo can do that cross. So, I don't know with Newcastle because they didn't get Morgan Rogers. They looked very suspect the last time they were playing. and they're probably going to lose Isak, and their options to replace Isak are dwindling very, very quickly. If it is a deal that they end up going for Fulham's Muniz, he's not a bad player, but as your striking option, we'll see. I mean, I won't disagree with you on that one either, Todgers. But if he's dribbling, then why? If he's the one dribbling, then why the fuck did you purchase Wirtz? Like it's just getting to the point now where Liverpool's team, and we kind of have the same problem, where you've bought so many players, I don't know where they're playing, and your best players can't play in your best squad. Like and there's nothing wrong with that. You're effectively setting yourselves up to have two squads, but you kind of like Sabaz like can't really play with Wirtz. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe Arnold Slot will figure out a way to do it. But with the formation that you play at the moment, Sabaz like can't really play with Wirtz. It leaves yourself too defensively weak in the midfield. You'd want a prime Casemiro there to fucking defend you, and I just use him as the example because you'd want a Luka Modric or a prime Casemiro there in order to do it if both of them were playing at the same time. Yeah, but I don't think that's a good lineup. I think that's like doing Ugarte with Bruno, which is fine. It works, but yeah. I don't have any predictions for it, Skull. I think pretty much everything you posted in the chat will probably end up happening. Other than The Rock coming out, I don't think The Rock will come out for it, but that's my opinion. I don't really have opinions for it. Yeah, but it's just my point. I think you've overspent in some positions because you needed to improve in some positions and you didn't do it. I think you needed a defender. Oh, shit! I think you needed a defender and you didn't buy him. Okay, good. That's offside. Oh, well offside. But like, there has to come a point where I understand you spent nothing last year, but there has to come a point where you calm your tits a bit. Like, you can't be spending 50 million on Guehi, 70 million on Inteke, 120 million on Wirtz, 120 million on Isak, which we'll see how that ends up going, but that's probably what you're going to end up having to spend on him, and you're probably going to get him. Fucking 35. I know you're spending 8 million now, but 35 million on if ye get 50 million for Harvey Elliott, then there's some horse malarkey happening in the transfer window. You're doing deals like Chelsea are. You have to be. There's no fucking way he goes for 50 million. None. If he goes for 30 million, everyone's gone to Lulu. Ben, my friend, what's a crack lacking with you? How is life treating you? It's all going good. Yeah, and that's a mistake too. Like, there's been way too... Like, the money spent on players this particular transfer window had been bonkers anyway. Like, the fact that 18-year-old from Bournemouth went to Real Madrid for 60 million quid is horseshit. Genuine horseshit. Teams are paying too much money for players. And I don't mind it, but I'll be salty about it because as a United fan, we can't sell players for shit because of our tax and the fact that everyone knows we're crap. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm happy with it as well, Ben. Genuinely. There's a lot of good points to come out of it. Dogu looks like a genuine player. Lenny Yoro, although a bit... You useless fucking bastards. Lenny Yoro, although a bit off on certain elements, looks like he's the finished article now. Like, he'll still improve, but he looks like he's set. Adrian Heaven looks a lot better than he did in the last game. Mason Mount looks like he's coming good. Rasmus Højlund was in the right place at the right time, doing the right connective plays. And I still am them. And I know I'm a sympathizer for a lot of these players, but they were looking good. My one problem was Ahmad. I think for the first half of the game, Ahmad wasn't in the game. I think he scored his goal and then nothing happened. But supposedly Simicast got in a fight with someone. So I would see that happening as well. Anyway, okay. Bellingham, you useless bastard. Okay. Bellingham's gone. We have to take Ard off as well. Take Enric off as well. Put Marco on and hope that something works. Boston off as well for Gay. And hope we can come back into this. If we lose this game, we're putting unneeded pressure on us. Look, I'm not going to do that crap. I'm genuinely not going to do that crap. I think Gyökeres is a good player. I think Arsenal will do well with Gyökeres. My big thing with Gyökeres is you need to build around Gyökeres. That'll be Arsenal's fourth time to change for the person that they're building their team around. Will that cause too many issues? Potentially. I think Gyökeres will perform good for them. He's a good player. He has good intensity on his heads. The thing is, it'll just take him a bit to start revving. I just hope his engines don't rev before we get going. I just hope his engines don't get revving before we face them in the first game. Okay? I'm not going to do that crap stating that they can't win with Gyökeres. I do think they're a season too late. I think João Pedro will run on all cylinders for Chelsea. I think Liverpool look too strong. And you'd be shocked if City didn't come back. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see, though. Do we have the money to get him? It'll be 100 million for him. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. If he's usable in that formation and he can work for that, then fair play to Robinson. Like, he's a good bench player. He's a good bench player. And this... Fuck, Doc. I've used all my subs. Shit. Oh, it's a thought. Okay, well, we're down to 10 men, so... Let's see what we do. Oh, this game... What this game can do is...
Off! It's a direction you can fuck!
Anyway, we'll see. At the end of the day, I think speed in the Premier League is a bit overrated. I think Casemiro, when he was on the pitch for us last night, didn't need speed. It would have helped significantly, but he didn't need speed because he could connect everything together. You'd like your centre-backs to have speed, but so long as one of your centre-backs have speed, then everything is sound there. You're right. So long as one of your centre-backs has speed, you'll be sound. That's the reason why Maguire and Lindelof kind of worked, because at least Lindelof had speed. You know, Maguire never did. So you can get away with it. And he has the good instincts to end up going through it. A draw with 10 men is an okay result. It's annoying, but it's an okay result. Did I jinx this? No. So that's my viewpoint when it comes down to Robinson. He's sound. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But we'll see what ends up happening. Yeah, fuck it. I'll turn around and say that it's sound. We're still 4 points ahead of them. That draw ended up helping us as well, but we'll see. He didn't put in a good performance last season. Casemiro or Robinson? Because you're right with Robinson. He didn't. Okay, fair enough. It goes up to 67. Okay. Yeah, you're right. But is one season enough to rock them out? Because Odegaard didn't have a good season last season. Evan Ferguson didn't have a good season last season. You know, one bad season isn't the end of the world. I don't think it's enough to kill a person, to be honest. I can understand you got Miloš in as the permanent left back. That's fine, but he'll do a job as your substitute. He's a bench warmer now. He's lost his place as the starting left back. And maybe he'll fight in order to get that back. And that's what you want. You want him to have that fighting ability. And if he's able to fight to get that back, that's all that you want, you know? So time will tell to see what ends up happening. I don't like to say that any player is out and dead unless they've proven themselves to be dead. Like, to me, for United, Rashford is dead. He's had 3 seasons where he's fucked up. That's enough. And he turned his tail on the club. I think Garnacho, if you could rectify his personality issues, should be given another season. That's fine. I think Mount deserves another season because he's been injured for most of the seasons that came before. And yes, he wasn't great last season, but you know, I legitimately don't think he played a single game last season where he was fit. I genuinely think that. I know that's copium of the highest degree, but that's just my opinion. And we'll see what ends up happening. I wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater with Robinson yet, but you were right to sign a replacement to be your principal left back, if you get me. Do you agree at all with me, or do you think I'm 100% wrong? And with that being said, too, there's nothing wrong with selling him. Also, what the fuck? We're buying Leverkusen smoking, getting 40 million for fucking spending 40 million on Quinn Lash. Dipshits. They literally just sold their best player for 40 million off because they bought Quinn Lash. Quinn Lash is not worth 40 million. Also, for anyone that has a problem with cursing, my deepest apologies. It won't be fixed. Yeah. The one thing with Sesko, too, that's quite interesting to remember when it comes down to United and Sesko is Sesko's 22. He's the same age as Højlund and has been playing like as a proper striker for, like, I think he has almost 200 games to his play. So it'll be interesting to see if we end up getting him. I still think there's a player in Rasmus. I don't want to call Rasmus out yet. I don't want to say it's the end of him. So I want to give him the college try and see. Anyways, and unfortunately, my friends, I know it's a short one. I know it's only been 2 hours, but I have to call it a stream there. I have a couple of things I need to end up doing. I will be streaming tomorrow evening. However, it will be a bit of a later start than normal, probably 9:30 start. Because I need to do a late night gym session with the PT. So it might be close to 9:30 when I end up starting, but I will. Yeah, I'm visiting Jim Cornette. I'm so excited. But thank you all so much for coming in. Genuinely, I love every moment with you. It's a pleasure. It's a joy. I smile every time I end up chatting with you, so thank you so much. For those of you on the other platforms, if anyone is watching, YouTube, Kick, and TikTok. You can follow me on my Discord. You can follow me on X and other social media platforms and see how things are going. Happy to end up having you at any point in time. I'll be on again on this, and I'll be talking throughout the Discord. Yeah, I'll be on again tomorrow at some particular point in time, and I'll message in the Discord if I'm not. Until then, it has been an absolute pleasure for you. I'm setting you over to Dill40k, fantastic FM streamer himself. We now have the crack addict emote set there as well, so feel free to use it if you want to. Just turn around and say crack addicts attack if you can, and thank you so much. So until the next time, make sure your crack is 90. Make sure your crack is 90. Shlán Gafol, and as always, I am the stupid sexy crack, and you can poke my horn. I clicked the wrong one first, so that came across wrong. But thank you so much, and I chat you later. Adios, amigos.